76.
And we're back with The Other Side with K-Row. In the public interest, I have a new guest. We're still talking about kingdom entrepreneurship. Absolutely. And as I started off the show, I don't know if you heard, but I was saying that I believe that God has given each one of his children something that can sustain us financially. We hear so much in the body about God's gonna make you a millionaire and you're gonna be rich, and I'm not saying all that, but I believe that he has given us something to sustain us financially so that we don't have to depend on the world system for our financial health. Sure. The Bible says that he will give us the power to get wealth, and most people just want him to give us the wealth.
Yeah.
but he said he's going to give us the power to get wealth. And so you are an entrepreneur. You have your business, Anointed Ads.
Yes.
Now, as long as I've known you, which has been quite a few years.
Yeah. I think we met in 2000, I don't know.
Yeah.
2007 maybe, I don't know.
Probably about that 2006, 2007. You've had Anointed Ads. So Tell us, when did you start the business? What prompted you to start your own business? Were you working for another company when you started Anointed Ads?
Sure. Actually, I started my company right out of college. I'm going to date myself a little bit.
Oh, wow.
I started my company in 2001.
That's
right
brave.
After I graduated from class of 2000 from North Carolina A&T State University. I'm always trying to push them. They've done so much for me.
Wow, okay.
But in 2001, I started the company. A friend of my mom's was a minister, and she wanted to get some business cards made. And this is before Vistaprint really got big, and she didn't know how to do it. And I had a printer, and I was used to designing things, so I just decided that I would do it for her. And I created her little business cards. And she's still ministering now down in North Carolina.
Wow.
And I came up with the name Anointed Ads because I was doing church stuff, and also I wanted to be at the top of the phone book because this is before Google and everything really pushed. So I wanted to be at the top, and I came up with that name, and I incorporated the business several years later because I just kind of started it from my garage in the beginning. But in 2007, I actually incorporated. So I've been officially in business and paying taxes since 2007.
Wow. And this is something that we didn't talk about in the last segment. How important is incorporation?
Oh, it's super important because when you're running your business, you have to invest in yourself. So if you don't incorporate your company and get it set up correctly with an accountant, then you won't get those write-offs that are so crucially important. So if you make $50,000 but you spent $10,000 on your business, that $10,000 that you spent, you still have to pay taxes on it unless you've written it off properly with an accountant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I recommend that to everybody to get incorporated. Do a search to make sure your name's not already in use.
Yes.
So my name Anointed Ads is very unique. There's Anointed Hands, there's Anointed Touch, but there was no Anointed Ads.
Right.
So I got that name and locked it down. And having that incorporated the proper way helped me to get a lot of write-offs, over the years.
Okay.
Travel and expenses, all kinds of stuff.
And so again, we didn't talk about this part in the last segment, but you talked about an accountant, you talked about legal stuff. You have to have a lawyer with your business, because the other thing about being incorporated is and I don't know how you would be sued for ads, but just say you had a business where you could be sued. I'm a nurse. If somebody sued me and my business wasn't incorporated, they could potentially take everything that I have.
Yeah.
If I'm incorporated, then it goes to the business, and they don't necessarily have the ability to touch my personal
That's true. I'm not an accountant or anything, but that is how I've been educated in that way. So you have the LLC set up so that they can, if they're having an issue with you, they can say sue the LLC instead of suing you personally. So your personal assets, like your house and your car. I'm not saying that they can't get to it, but it definitely adds a layer of insulation between you and the customer for sure.
Right.
It's happened to me. I haven't been sued, thankfully, but they have come after me because I used some images that were not royalty free. So they were copyrighted images that I found on Google. I did it for another customer, and then several years later, I got a letter saying, please remove these images right now, and you didn't get permission, so they're asking for the license and everything. I got a lawyer in place and everything, so you have to deal with kind of covering yourself when it comes to that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Again, with being in business, you have to do your homework.
Of course.
And make sure that you know the ins and outs, because making a mistake like that could cost you a lot. You know what I mean? And copyright infringement and all of that. And we see that in the news with music.
Yes.
It can turn into millions of dollars sometimes.
Yeah, the copyright law is very specific. It's over all that intellectual property that you create, your website, your flyers, your logo, all that stuff should be protected for sure. Or at least copywritten so that, no one else can use it and benefit from your hard work.
And that's that's another side of it, so that you protect yourself, so that somebody can't take something that you created and then use it as their own. So all of that, and again, so starting a business is not just, I'm going to do this and make some money. You really have to do your homework and make sure you know all the ins and outs of it. Now, go ahead.
I agree. That's what I did, though.
Yeah.
I just started making money. I had a skill that I thought I was good at, and I just started charging people, so I didn't do it the right way, quote unquote. But a lot of people are like that. We don't all go to business school. We kind of learn on the fly a lot of times.
Right. And that's why I wanted to do this kind of show, so that we could at least drop some of these pointers so that people can at least get their antennas up, like, oh, it's more to it than just getting a name and going out there and start selling.
Absolutely.
So I want to go back, though. You said you started when you graduated from college.
Right.
Did you have another job concurrently, or was this just it?
Yeah, I had another job. I worked for one of the big 5 consulting companies when I first graduated college, traveling all over the country. It was a great job. It was in management consulting. My degree is in electrical engineering, but I took some software classes, so I learned how to do software, and I was doing software management.
I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm an engineer by trade, but my work is more on the software side.
Okay.
So I did have a job. I did that for a couple of years. One of the things that prompted me to really keep the business on the back of my mind is because I got laid off a couple times, honestly. So getting laid off, you're down a spiral. One time I got laid off right after I closed on my house. I bought my house in 2002. In May 31st of 2002, and I got laid off on July 23rd.
Oh my!
So I was like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm a man. I'm a real man, but I cried. I cried.
Right.
I got laid off, and but that was right after 9/11, and I was in a company that I flew every week. So planes were grounded. You couldn't go anywhere. Work was drying up. I moved up to Philly just so I could get, so I could stay in the mix, because I was living in North Carolina at the time, and still moving to Philly, and everything still didn't keep me from the chopping block. So I got laid off, and this helped me a lot. But then I found another job. So I've had jobs, while I worked the business, but for the past couple of years, I've been doing the company full time.
Yeah. Okay. And so when we come back, I want you to show some of the things that you can do.
Okay.
And I know, we're coming up to Christmas, and so a lot of people may need flyers, New Year's flyers, things like that. I know you do all of that. You do website design and all that. So I want you to show us some of the things that you do, and then tell us about some of the services that you offer, and then, of course, how people can contact you.
Sounds good.
Phil Steward, Anointed Ads, is my guest. We're talking about Kingdom Entrepreneurship, if you're just joining us. And definitely, I hope that you heard the show. So many good nuggets were dropped in the first segment. You dropped so many other nuggets that we didn't even touch on in that first segment, and we're going to look at some of your work when we come back. You are listening to and watching The Other Side with K-Row in the Public Interest. We'll be right back after this.
The Worst Case Scenario Survival Experience is now open at the Franklin Institute. Start your crash course in surviving the weird, the wacky, and the worst. Take a plunge through 13 interactive scenarios that fill the survival gymnasium, fitted with expert advice geared to all ages. Learn to leap from a moving train, escape quicksand, and even survive an avalanche. The Worst Case Scenario Survival Experience at the Franklin Institute. Get tickets today at fi.edu.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
And we're back with The Other Side with K-Row in the Public Interest. My guest is Phil Steward, talking about your business, Anointed Ads, which you do websites, graphic design, flyers, business cards. Well, you tell us
Sure.
some of the things that you offer, and then you can show us some of the work that you've done.
Yeah, well, we love what we do. That's number one. I've had jobs that I hated going to. I've had jobs where I just drag myself in every morning, but this job I really enjoy. It's an ability for me to use my creativity and technical skills at the same time, so it's wonderful. So what we focus on is website design for small businesses, 0 to 50 employees, give or take. We focus on all kinds of websites, not just church websites, but e-commerce, brochure-style websites. We also work with blog style, membership style, anything that you can use to promote yourself online. So we do websites as a first and foremost type of service. We also do graphic design, so that includes flyers and business cards and posters and banners and those kinds of things. So we try to really do vibrant colors, eye-catching designs, and I brought some samples here for everybody to see. I can put them out here. So we've done work with a lot of cool people. I know you know Anton. We work with him. Miss Lightsey, I know you know her. Work with her in barbershops, and we even work with a football team, the New Jersey football team, New Jersey Flight. Different pastors from here to Jersey to Delaware, all kinds of people, motivational speakers, everything.
And one of the reasons why I want you to bring some samples is so that people can see the quality. So that people can see the quality. So that, and you might not be able to see the thickness of the paper, but this is about 16 points?
Yes, 16,
14 point. So it's a quality paper. You can see the gloss, you can see the color, you can see the quality design. Great work. Let me look at, because I like this one here, caught my attention. So I know a lot of people have conferences and seminars, so that anything that they would need advertisement for.
Absolutely.
Anointed ads.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be printed. We do a lot of online-only flyers.
Okay.
You know, people try to promote through Instagram and Facebook, and certain flyers fit certain platforms better, certain sizes and that kind of thing. So we have done it for a long time. We like to consult people, let them know what's the best, for each platform, and that is a big part of our business. We do a lot of flyers. We got a couple requests for New Year's Eve flyers today for a church in Pottstown. We're really excited to work with them. Pastor Brotherspoon and his wife Crystal. So we're really excited about what we're doing. So this is a big part: website design, then graphic design, and the last portion we do is consulting. So that mixes in search engine optimization. So if you have a site already, you have some good collateral like this.
I don't know what that means.
Sure.
Explain what that means.
So it's shortened as SEO in our world, our jargon. But basically, what it is, it's a collection of tasks you do on a regular basis, so that Google sees your site as a good site to send people to.
Okay.
So if you don't do these things, then Google will find someone else who's done them and send traffic their way. So for your guest who was here before me, she does credit repair. So she has a site and she's blogging about credit repair. She's on shows like this and getting links back and forth to Facebook and other credible resources like Yelp and those kinds of things. That helps you get a better rank in Google, and then Google will find you before they find your competition when someone searches for a term. So that kind of consulting is what we do, whether it's through search engine optimization, which would be optimizing your site for Google, or Facebook optimization using things like Facebook ads. So they're separate, but they're related. And those kinds of things are what we're really ramping up with our Facebook ads, actually.
Yeah.
A couple of people are interested in that because for business to consumer businesses, is perfect. Like, I'm a business to business, so I work with businesses and churches and organizations. But if you sell credit repair, so you're working to consumers, it's really great for you to use Facebook ads. So you're going to get on a social platform where people are looking and they're scrolling every day. They're not looking to buy a website, but they may be looking to get their credit repaired. So being a consumer-based business is better for you to use something like Facebook ads than some of the other methods out there.
And do you help design those ads for Facebook can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So we design the ads. Video ads work the best.
Okay.
So we can help design the ads, or we can hire a third party to create the ads, like Fiverr or any other professional company that does quality ads. But then the meat and potatoes of it is not the ad as much as the setup and the targeting. So if she's doing credit report, I'm just using her since she's familiar to your audience.
Mm-hmm.
She's targeting people who are maybe a certain income bracket, maybe have a certain level of education, or maybe have a certain maybe they're interested in spending or credit cards or whatever their interests are. We can target those types of people.
Okay.
So she doesn't just blast an ad to a bunch of random people that may not need her,
Mm-hmm.
but she can send an ad to people who are specifically looking for her service or services adjacent to hers, which
Okay.
is perfect for, that's going to give her the best bang for her buck.
Okay. Okay. And all of these services are things that you provide,
Right.
so that it's not just about the design and the cards and the website, but you also educate on what's the best way to even target the people that you want to advertise.
That's right.
Okay.
And I'm not a one-man show in a sense. I have some partners that we work together with. Rodney Green Light Solutions.
know Rodney.
You know Rodney?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's listening. I send him a flyer, but if he's listening, I give him a plug. He's excellent with printing. He's excellent with SEO, what I just mentioned, and the Facebook ads. He's excellent with that. So we're working together on a couple projects. Hopefully they come to fruition. And he's excellent. So he's the one that kind of hit me to the game when it comes to Facebook ads, and he's an expert. So I'm good at explaining it, but he's actually the best at implementing it. So we work together, and I stay in my lane.
Yeah.
I'll go be the face or the the salesman.
And that's another great nugget that you
Yeah.
just dropped, because again, we're talking about kingdom entrepreneurship, and one thing that we need to recognize is that nobody knows it all.
Yeah.
And so that you need to know, like you said, what's my lane, stay in my lane, and then hook up, network with somebody that can do something that you can't do, and then combine your businesses. That is a great piece to add to that too.
Yeah, I know. I'm learning over the years, been in business 12 years, that I can't do it on my own.
Yeah,
It's just not enough time in the day. I can't duplicate myself. I only have so much time. I have to do these great designs, or what I think are great designs. I have to meet the customer. I have to send out the bill. I have to sometimes pick up a check.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got to call in and demand my money from somebody on the phone. I mean, you have to wear so many hats.
Nobody wants to think about that part of it.
Yeah, but it's important. I mean, if I would have known that, I would have had so much challenges with the financial part of getting your money. I've gone through many iterations of different ways to collect. I found the sweet spot now, but in the beginning, I was doing all kinds of stuff.
The sweet spot of collections.
Yeah, I found it now. I get paid up front for certain items. Others that require a payment plan, we set that up, and we can set it up where it automatically drafts, so I don't have to chase you down and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
We take checks, but we also have a great online system that's self-service. So we've kind of made some things simpler on us, so we can focus our effort on the thing we like to do. Nobody likes collections.
No.
But it's important. If you do the work, you deserve to get paid, especially if you did a great job.
Yep.
So, that's what I recommend.
Yeah. But again, all of these things people need to take into consideration. And again, not to get churchy or whatever, but Jesus said, no man built a house without first sitting down and counting up the costs. And although I believe that we each have a niche and God has given us something unique, we still need to sit down and count up the costs. That it's not just about getting a name and then making money. You got to think about that collection thing. What about when people don't pay?
Exactly.
What am I going to do? What about, I got to get incorporated. I have to make sure that I'm not infringing on somebody else's trademark. We talked about copyright, but what about trademark? And so all of these things, you need to educate yourself. You need to sit down. You need to count the costs. You may need to sit down with somebody who's been where you want to go.
Right.
And that's one of the things that Kamei said in the first segment, is that you can learn from the mistakes that we made in the beginning. You don't have to repeat those cycles.
True. Yeah, I agree with that. Having a consultant on your side is immensely helpful. We try to consult people because everyone has ideas. You talk about, I got this idea for an app, or I got this idea for a business, and it's good to bounce your ideas off of people, not people who are going to just ridicule you and take your dream and pop your bubble, but people who actually have been there and can give you some solid advice on how to start, or what's some good steps to do in the beginning. So I like to help people out with that when it comes to that.
Yeah, and again, you you and Kamei are at two different stages. She's still kind of working another job while she's building her business. You now are in full time doing this. How long did it take you to be able to go full time and just let go of the other job?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. I started full time once I got laid off because I didn't want to.
Right.
I wanted to really push the business without having any reservations. So I didn't really have a choice. So when I left my job to start the business, because I got laid off, so I started then. But I would say if I could do it all over again, I would save 3-4 months worth of my bills.
Yes.
I would save that so that I don't have to be penny pinching when it comes to the business when I first started. If I could do it all over again, I would definitely do that. It would be allow me to, really work on getting quality clients, because in the beginning you just take whatever kind of money you can get. Hey, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it half price. I'll do it $10. I'll do it for free. Just say something about me when you do your show. So it's tough there. But if you want to have integrity, you want to have consistency, I think you should save up 3-4 months of pay so that you're comfortable, and then you take that as motivation so that you don't have to dip into it. Start your business. So, and then you have to make a business plan. I didn't do that in the beginning, but there's tons of resources out there, and I'll be happy to direct anybody if they contact me to make a free business plan. And the business plan is going to help you identify the right customer, the right price, have the right forecast for what you want to make, what you plan to make, how you plan to market, all those, what are you going to budget for marketing, all that stuff, so that you don't have to kind of fumble around and do it from the seat of your pants. You have an actual plan in place, and I recommend that for anyone. Even myself, I make plans. I have a business coach, so she helps me. Joan Novak from Hybrid Solutions, she's excellent, and she gives me meetings and tasks and homework to help me.
Homework.
She gives me tasks that I have to do to keep myself with my competition. I don't want to be doing things I'm not supposed to do. I want to do things that my competition is doing, keep me on their same level. Have a business plan, have a marketing plan, have a service list, and those kind of things.
You have given so much, and I hope that people are listening and taking notes. What I'm going to do, if people are listening, is I am going to get a copy of this show. I'm going to put it on my YouTube page. Excellent. Because this is something that is not just interesting, it's an educational piece. Because you talked about business plan, you talked about marketing plan. Right. A lot of people don't think about these things. You talked about saving before you start. And if I had just had that one piece of information,
change your world.
It really does. You know what I mean? I was just, I loved my job for so many years, and then I got to a point where I hated it, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was just like, one day I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I didn't have any money saved up. The money that I thought I was going to get, I didn't get because I quit. I didn't realize that. So I was like, oh wait, what?
No severance.
Exactly.
No unemployment.
And so then it was just like, oh God. So now it's like you say, then I'm doing anything. Okay, I'll do that.
Exactly.
I'll do that. Well, I'll do it for half price. And so if I had just known that, just stick it out and save that 3 months worth of bills of pay, so that you're not panicking and you're not stressed. That was worth $1 million if I had known that back in, I don't even know what year it was when I quit my full-time job.
I mean, there's many ways to do it. I did Uber, I did Lyft.
Thank God
did all
for
kinds
Uber,
of stuff.
right?
I sold stuff on Facebook, or what you say, Craigslist. I sold stuff on now. I wouldn't dare sell anything on Craigslist now, but I've done it in the past, meeting people and changing $5 for this, $20 for that. I did whatever I could to make, because I have a family, I have to take care of them. But if I could do it again, I would definitely make that plan, get the business plan, take my time, don't rush. I know God tells you that. Some people say, God told me to do this, God told me to do that, and they kind of jump in with their faith, and that's a perfectly great way to do it if you want to do it that way. But I just feel like you should do it on the right time, in the right time. Take your time.
And let me just say, from my experience, that's what I did. I was like, I'm just going to take this leap of faith. But then I realized, when God tells you to do stuff, there still needs to be a plan. You still need to sit down and count up the costs. You still have to make sure, is this the time that he wants me to do this? And God, to me, he doesn't do anything rash. You know what I mean? He's a God of order. So that's my little 2 cents. So we're running out of time. So you have something that you want to offer to our audience. And I just want to say because we have the listening audience that's listening now live, and then we have the TV audience that is going to see this tomorrow.
Right.
I'm going to hold off in awarding the things that you offer today, and I'm going to wait until Thursday.
Okay.
I'll be on the air on Thursday.
Okay.
And so the things that you offer today, I will reiterate them on Thursday when I'm on the air, and then we'll let people know how they can win. Okay,
Sure.
so let us know what you're going to
Yeah,
offer.
well, I have two things that I want to offer to your listening audience. Thank you for letting me be on the show. Actually, so the first thing is a site evaluation. So on our site, we charge $100 for it. You can go to our site and you'll see it right there on our store.
What's your site?
AnointedAds.com.
Okay,
so
that's nice and easy.
Yeah, so if you spell it wrong, as long as you put Anointed Ads in there, we usually find the first one or two entries on Google, so you'll find us really easy. So AnointedAds.com, we give a site evaluation for $100, and what that is a evaluation from our eyeballs and from our tool that identifies what you may or may not be doing that helps you on Google's search results. So if you're selling apples and you have a website about apples, we'll go through your website and see if you have, the tags correct, if you have, your SSL set up, all the other criteria that Google looks for. We have a nice report PDF that we'll give to you, as well as explain to you how to fix it, so that you can get better results on Google. So that's one of the things we will give away. Excuse me, getting tongue-tied. The second thing that we will give away is a free flyer design for any church that might be having a watch night service coming up.
Okay.
So if any of the pastors that might be listening need a design, and you can see many samples on our Instagram page and our Facebook and on our website, we can do a free design. It's a $50 value. All you have to do is, be a winner, and we'd be glad to give that to you.
Okay, wonderful. So now we have 2 minutes.
Yep.
Tell people your website, your phone number if you want to give that,
Sure.
and all your social media contacts so they
Sure.
know how to contact you.
So to find us online, the best way is to go to Google and just type in Anointed Ads, and we'll come up in the first couple of entries there. Or you can go to anointedads.com, and that's spelled ANOINTEDADS.com. You could also find us on Facebook, which is Anointed Ads. On our Facebook, everything is the same. Anointed Ads on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and YouTube. We're all Anointed Ads, so you type it in there, you'll find us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Phil.
Thank you.
And again, so if you want to try to win one of these things, because I'm going to give them out separately,
Sure.
You have to listen Thursday night. I'll be on from 6 to 10 p.m.
Nice.
And I will offer these things from Anointed Ads, and I'll let you know how you can win. Thank you so much. That's
Thank
very
you.
generous.
Thank you. Thank you for having
Very
me.
generous. Thank you for being my guest. Thank you for the nuggets that you dropped. I know
Absolutely.
I'm going to go back and watch this again.
There you go.
You've been listening to and watching The Other Side with K-Row in the public interest. Thank you for watching.
In the public interest on Trenton Talks is a program that explores different topics that are of interest to you. In the public interest on Trenton Talks can be heard every Tuesday night on 1300 WIMG at 6 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. and seen on WPHY 25. This is a service of WPHY Channel 25 and the Morris Broadcasting Company.